I guess, summarize what just happened, what you got out of this?
I think it's been a great 3 days. I think, comparing today to day one, a lot of progress was made. We've been trying to keep it really simple, from the start, what we want to accomplish on the offensive side, defensive side, and just really lean into that with our intensity, our purpose, the intent, in every teaching segment, every game segment. I thought our guys had great juice. They've been taxed these 3 days, but they're feeling good. Their bodies are responding, day after day. But I thought the collective approach was really good today, especially in day three. Just building off of what we've installed, day one and day two, and we're far from where we need to be in terms of everything offensively or defensively. That's what, we'll do over the next coming weeks, especially, going into our first preseason game. But overall, pretty happy with the first 3 days, but I'm always going to want more.
Coach, do you feel like there's a sense of urgency from the coaching staff and the players to get back to the top of the conference?
I don't think we're putting like the cart before the horse or anything like that. We're not, setting, our sights on having to, get back to a certain seed or, we have expectations on ourselves about how we approach every single day, what we want to accomplish this season. That's the only stuff that we can control. If we start putting narratives out there and start putting the finish line at a certain point and we don't achieve it, is that, deemed a failure or not? I just want to approach every day as how we're going to win the day, how we're going to win our improvement individually, collectively. Obviously, the games are going to reveal a lot, where we're at the end of the day when it comes to the standings. But, I want our guys not focusing on the, long term. I want them focusing on them here and now.
The last couple full seasons he's played, John's been sort of mid-30s usage towards the top of the league. Does the best version of this team now bring that number down a little bit, you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to put a number on it, but I think, it's definitely a balancing act with, his, unbelievable gifts. Obviously he's going to be a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. It's how we want to finish possessions on the defensive side. It's how we want to play fast. Naturally, he's a driver of that. But he's been phenomenal in these first 3 days of getting off the ball a lot quicker. He and I talked about that before the season, his willingness but ability to just get off the ball. He's seeing the floor as much as we're moving without the ball. He's obviously got an innate ability to connect the dots even in crowds, and the game's played at a very fast pace. But we'll see what the numbers come down to. Obviously, we've got a lot of guys that can create advantages for us. Him at the top of the list, with the likes of Dez and Jaron and Marcus. But we got other guys, if we're playing our collective style, maybe we can take a little bit of load off of him, but that's going to mean that he's going to have to put off the ball with more urgency, his relocations, the three-point shooting, the cutting off the ball, just putting him in other positions to still be successful. I don't know what the usage rate's going to be, whether it's him creating it or him maintaining the advantage for us and being a beneficiary, only time will tell.
You said that you don't want to put the cart before the horse, and Josh said he's not worried about people doubting. Would you say that there's been a little bit of an attitude change for the team this year, maybe from 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, I think we've come in, we've said what we've said, and now we got to go, prove it night after night. Actions definitely speak louder than words. I'm the first and foremost. Obviously I get to speak for the team a lot, but how I carry myself with this group, how I set a tone for this group. But seeing the urgency from especially guys that have been with me, the last 5 years, I think there's a rejuvenated focus. Understanding what we can accomplish, but knowing that we've got to put in a lot of work. And I've seen it these last 3 days. I think the summer has proven a lot of that. Talk is cheap. I think all these guys recognize it, but we got to start with the conversation, then we got to put it into action.
Taylor, can you speak to sort of the comfort level you guys had here, getting away for this focus work, and then getting back to Memphis for the next step?
Yeah, our guys are going to be very excited to get back to Memphis, back into our headquarters, FedEx Forum, and being back with our families. But I thought the intentionality of everyone's sacrifice. I think I said that a couple days ago, to be away from your home and your bed and your loved ones, whatever it is, your routine. I thought this, is a great opportunity to bring this group even closer together. That's one of our strengths. It's always been, but I've been leaning into that element of our standards and our culture, our togetherness. I think it's been great. I think Ensworth has been a phenomenal host. Their leadership, their coaching staff, the facilities here were phenomenal for what we needed. With the size of our training camp roster right now, but also, just a little breath of fresh air, coming out here and, having that team bonding opportunity, investing in the community this afternoon. I'm excited that our guys are going to be out in the community giving back. And then, we get back to Memphis, tomorrow and back to work. So I think it's been a great 3 days.
Jake Lloyd was a name that's been brought up a lot as somebody who was impressed. Have you noticed anything different from him? And how has he kind of carried over how he finished the season to this trip?
Yeah, I give Jake a lot of credit. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's carrying himself with a lot of confidence. I think going into year 3, he understands the impact he can make on this team. I think the sample size we got at the end of last season was great from a boost, standpoint for him going into summer league, and then what we've seen in this kind of preseason so far. But he knows. I mean, being healthy has been one of his biggest drivers, and he's changed a lot of his habits. I think he's seen the benefits of those habit changes. To have him be on the floor competing at a high level, he's definitely one of the standouts in training camp. The pace that we've been talking about, the collective movement that we have to have off the ball. He's playing with a lot of force, a lot of intensity. Even picking that up on the defensive side, how we're crashing the boards, everything we're asking, he's doing it. But I think it's a lot of the habits he was kind of building off of at the end of last season throughout the summer.
So piggybacking on that a little bit, with Vince and Gigi being out to start, are you concerned about sort of the length and size on the perimeter without those guys?
I mean, I think that's definitely something we'll be mindful of, but who knows what our big combinations are going to be. Obviously, we definitely want to play with activity, so size and length will definitely benefit that. But if we're disciplined in our shifts and our rotations and our anticipation on the defensive side, or even offensively, just with how we're cutting and moving and generating more effective shots, the lineups will kind of dictate it. But I think we got a lot of guys that are capable. That next man up mentality. Obviously, Vince and Gigi, when healthy and coming in with the right mentality, are going to have a huge imprint on the season. But it's a great opportunity for other guys, regardless of what their measurements are. It's their intent and the impact that they want to bring every single day that'll really stand out.
Are you planning to use exhibit 10 player, including Yuki, for trial in Dallas?
Say that one more time.
Are you planning to use exhibit 10 players, including Yuki, for trial in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, so they're definitely going to get plenty of opportunities, and when we get our preseason schedule underway here with 5 games. Obviously, we've got open roster spots. We've got 3 two-way guys that are really of interest to us, and I think we've done a great job identifying a couple of this Exhibit 10 group that's going to be having a great opportunity in the preseason, and maybe get an opportunity for a two-way or a roster spot. Who knows? It's open competition, but really excited with what Yuki's bringing right now, with Mie, Armando, Mao. Obviously, Mao was with us last year, but with the guys that have two-ways right now, in Scotty, Cam, and Jay, they've got great opportunities to get roster spots too. But we'll let that stuff sort itself out over the next couple of weeks. But these guys are approaching the day-to-day, the right way. I think, our hustle, program is set up for a lot of success. And as we've proven over the years, guys have come out of our hustle program to, whether it's a standard contract, two-way contract, these guys are, part of our program right now, and we see a future for them.
One of your players, your former players, Zion Williams, recently said he felt at times in Memphis he was kind of trapped, and he feels a little bit more free now. When you reflect on the time that he spent here, was there ever a point where you had conversations with him, or was that communicated to you that he kind of, had some of those feelings?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed our time with Z. I mean, he was unbelievable to work with. I'm really excited for the new opportunity he has. I know he's going to do great things in Brooklyn. He's got a bright future. He's got an ultimate care factor, great pro. Obviously, things don't shake out always as you kind of plan when you come in. Obviously, there was great expectations with him. I thought he made a big impact when he was out on the floor, and now he gets a great opportunity to take that next step in his career.
Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thanks, everyone.